One, two, three, four.
Another live broadcast from TrueFire Studios. We got the kid back. Kid is in the house, man. And we rushed him back. He was just here a few months ago. We did his first TrueFire course, Blues Refinery. And, thanks to hundreds of urgings from the likes of you, we asked Kid if he could squeeze us in, get back out here, do a couple more courses. For those of you who have not yet met Kid, born in Norway, studied with the famous Morten Omlid, moved to the States in 2001, played with Terry Paint's band, later with Charlie Musselwhite's band. That band received the Blues Music Award for Best Contemporary Blues Album. He's toured extensively with Elvin Bishop on the Red Dog Speaks tour. And Kid was nominated for a Blues Music Award in the Gibson guitar category in 2014, 2015, and 2016. He was nominated for a Blues Music Award in the Best Instrumentalist guitar category. Let's see if we can interrupt Kid and find out what he did here this week. Kid, how are you, man?
Hey.
Welcome
Brad,
back.
I'm doing good. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be back here. I feel like I never left.
I know. We rushed you back, didn't we?
I don't know. As I've gotten older, I've lost concept of time.
It's all a blur, isn't it, man? I'll reveal the secret incentive for getting you to cancel whatever dates you had in your studio or whatnot to get back here. And that incentive came in the form of a delicious Cuban sandwich that we make here. Huh?
I must say, I had a favorite Cuban sandwich in California.
Yeah.
And through some hard times, it was really what kept me going. And then that sandwich shop closed. And I thought I'd never find another one like it. But you hooked me up here, and I have a new favorite Cuban sandwich now. So that's all the incentive I need to come down.
And
really.
that got you back here. So, folks, when you're ready for more doses of Kid's unbelievable stuff that he does here in the studio, we know how to get him back here real easy. That's just make sure Bodega, which is the place that actually makes the sandwiches. We don't make the sandwiches. Make sure that they're going to be open during that session window, and we're good to go, right?
Yeah. And, I suggest you buy stock.
Exactly. You know what's funny? I just found out, too, that Cuban bodega place, there's no Cubans making those sandwiches. Tommy, who did they tell us is actually making that food there? Do you remember?
I do not remember.
Okay, we'll find out and get back to you. Anyway,
What?
I digress, okay? So, Kid, the first course you did, Blues Refinery, as they used to say, went #1 with a bullet, and it's still up there, and people just, flipped for your teaching style, your playing. That course chock full of, great insight, great music, and a whole vocabulary of comping and soloing and licks and phrasing. So you came back and we did 2 projects together.
Yes.
Our most popular, I'd have to say our most popular product right now is this In the Jam product, where the artist comes in, brings in their tracks. We film, like we have with you, filmed you do comping over all 10 of those tracks you brought in. Killer tracks, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't mention the name of your studio yet either, but you produced them in your studio, did
Yeah,
you?
yeah, they're all from my studio. Yeah.
But don't mention the name, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And then we film Kid soloing over his own comping. We film both, and In the Jam allows students to mix those tracks any way they like. They can mute your rhythm part and comp for you, mute your solo part, solo with you, mute the bass part, mute the drum part, mix it any way they wish. So let's give them a taste of that. Let's start with that. Would you comp over, Tommy, what do you want to do first? Like Queen Bee, maybe?
Yeah, Queen Bee would be great.
Just do a little comping, couple courses of how you would comp over that track.
Yeah,
Okay, and then
sure.
we'll talk about it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So on the actual In the Jam product, which is a standalone piece of software, obviously you'll play all the way through the tracks. The tracks average about how long, Tommy?
Usually around 3.5 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kid obviously has, a pedigree a mile long and has played with a ton of artists. Share one piece of insight, like you do on the course, about what the rhythm guitarist should be thinking about when they're supporting a vocalist or a soloist?
Yeah. Well, there's I cover this in the jam too, because actually on this one I was not aware that this is unusual for in the jam, but I actually have a track with a vocalist on there, so whom you may choose to mute if you want to in your software. Although I recommend you don't, because he's a great singer. It's a recording I made a while ago with a great blues singer named Jackie Payne. I talk about that. Now, rhythm guitar is, that's one thing. I was most gigs I do, I'll be the only guitar player, so I cover a little bit of both. But on this, I do a whole rhythm part and a whole lead part. And the rhythm part, I really focus on, of course, locking in with the drums and the bass and finding a part that either that works with them. It doesn't have to be doubling the bass. It could be playing a counterpart, but a counterpart that gives it motion for forward drive, the groove. Or it could be playing something that is rhythmically the same as they're playing. So there's I do different approaches, and I explain what my thinking was behind each one of them. And that's on the rhythm guitar side of it, and that applies for whether you're playing with a singer or not. But I also get into playing lead guitar with a singer, which is a really important role in blues. That there's not a whole, you don't see a lot of like formal teaching information out there on how to play with a singer. It's more like how you play. Here's how you play this, like how you play that thing, and of course I get into that too. But the thing about playing with a singer, which is if you're a working musician,
You're playing with a singer.
that's what you're going to be doing.
Right.
That's so I'm real. I share some information about just what to listen for.
Yeah.
How to listen and how to respond and play off the singer, because a lot of the big thing about playing with us in a blues band in a setting or any band is the lead guitar plays off the singer. It's almost like an echo, an ongoing conversation between the two, and you got to develop some skills to do that. Number one, you got to be able to stay out of the way, and you got to know when to get into the way.
So let's do this. Tommy, could you roll that same track, but with kids comping on it, and would you solo over that, give them a taste of...
Yeah. So this is instrumental.
And this is the Queen Bee track, by the way, which is one of 10 tracks in this edition of In the Jam for Kid.
One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So on this edition of In the Jam, you'll play again, just to kind of repeat myself so everyone kind of gets it. It's hard to demonstrate it live like this, but they'll be able to watch you play the entire rhythm performance. They'll be able to watch you play the entire lead performance, and then they can kind of mix it or mute or solo any of the tracks. And of course, we'll transcribe and notate and tab out all your guitar parts. The other thing that you do that's very special, that Kid was just referring to, is we'll also record Kid doing a commentary over the entire track, where you kind of get inside his head, and that's where a lot of this priceless insight about what he's listening for, why he's doing what he's doing, why he's approaching a piece of music the way he is. That's where that comes out. But you'll have a blast jumping in the jam with Kid on this. A little bit of housekeeping, Kid. Number one, shout out. Let us know where you're tuned in from so we can shout back to you. I can already tell, Kid, you have fans all over the world already tuned in. So we'll shout out to them in a minute. Number two is you'll see underneath the video, there's a promo code, Kid Live. If you use that promo code over the next, I think it's 24 or 48 hours, you can take 25% off Blues Refinery Kid's first course. You can also pre-order, Kid did In the Jam, and then we're going to talk about the second course, 30 refined blues licks you must know, is the second course Kid did here. You can even pre-order that and use that 25%. Then we also have this broadcast's little trivia question, which is, if you go to the link that you see in the chat thread there, and you can name Kid's studio. What does Kid call his studio? That's why I didn't want you to name it. We'll enter you in a drawing. Don't post that in the thread, because then someone else is going to pick up on it, and you're going to lower your odds of winning a $100 gift card, which we'll award at the end of this thing. And that'll buy you a lot of Kid Andersen goodies, okay? One more thing. You see that thumbs up right underneath the video. The best way you can show and share your love for the broadcast, for Kid, is give that a thumbs up. Move that mouse over there and give it a click. Thumbs up just a bit, and we'd appreciate that. Kid, we're going to do something else off of In the Jam. I'm just wondering, Tommy, do we have that vocal track lined up?
You know we do.
We do, yeah.
Which one is that? Feel So Bad?
It's Full Moon.
Okay. Okay, the last one. So
Feel So Rad.
Oh, Feel So Rad. Sorry.
Hey, you know what? Let's change it. Feel So Brad.
Feel So
there
Brad.
There we go. That's the new
like
title.
That. I
yeah.
like that. So again, let's roll that track. Just do a little bit of the comping to give them a flavor for the rhythm part, and then we'll solo over that one as well. Cool?
Okay, so I'm doing
You're doing Feel So Brad.
No. This is Full Moon, actually.
We're going to move to Full Moon.
Full Moon
now?
is the one with the vocal, yes.
Okay.
You want to do that one now? Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do. We just talked about it. Let's do that. Do you want him to?
Rhythm,
just,
right?
Yeah, just play whatever you want.
Yeah, baby. Oh, my baby's acting strange. Must be a full moon out tonight. Yeah. You know my woman's acting real strange. Must be a full moon out tonight. Well, why don't you come on in this house, woman? And commence the love in your daddy right. You know what I need. Sweet baby, why don't you do right? Hear your daddy beg and plead. Please, baby, please, baby, 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 please. when the full moon peeps through the tree. Yeah, yeah. Oh, somebody ought to help me here. That's what I'm talking about.
Nice. Well, you know, when you rolled that one in here and we filmed it, that sparked a little conversation on the break about doing, you know, one of your next courses with the singers on all the tracks, so that we could really drill down on.
I love that, man. Because I mean, you know, I like to play guitar, but more than anything, I love a great singer.
Yeah, I mean, you sing
great
pretty well
songs.
yourself, you know.
But there's some real great ones I've had the pleasure to play with. So I'd love to.
And it would be interesting. And let's see, somebody in the chat line even suggested that Thomas, you know, does the singer also share some insights for aspiring blues singers? It would be kind of cool to get both perspectives, you know, on, you know, what a guitarist should be thinking about when they support a singer, and how a singer feels about what a guitar player is doing or should be doing behind them, you know?
No, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
But you'd have to ask them about that.
Yes, we will.
I mean, I do sing a little bit, but then I play guitar myself. So
Yeah, you do.
I've never had to verbalize that to the guitar player.
Well, we'll figure it out. But that you know, that's a great topic for us to cover. What you're thinking, you know, you bring in a bunch of tracks, all with vocals, and teach us how to play it in support of those vocals, you know, do the call and answer stuff that you do so well.
Yeah.
And what you do when it's your turn, you know, your turn to kind of solo in there, how you approach that as well. How about let's do some shout outs. You've got fans chimed in right now from Texas, Hungary, Southern California, Belgium, Phoenix, Nova Scotia, Chesapeake, Haarlem, that's in the Netherlands, Germany, Rome, Atlanta, Scotland, Mesa, Oregon, Arkansas, South Africa, Chicago, Lakeland, Guatemala, Sacramento, Las Vegas. Pretty wild, huh?
I was trying to figure out if it was alphabetical or geographical order to what you were saying, but I don't think it was either one.
We just bounced all around the place.
Yeah, you sure
know,
did.
One of these days, we're going to figure out how to show a world map and put a pin for where everyone's tuned in from, because it's all over the place, you know. Every continent, every time zone usually tunes in to these things at one point or another. Let's do Feel So Brad, okay?
Let's do the lead for.
I was gonna suggest that. Yeah, let me show with the singer how I would play off of
Perfect. Thank you, Tommy.
The great Mr. Jackie Payne on the vocals.
Come on in this house, woman, and commence to loving your daddy right. baby, 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 please. Whoa, woman, why don't you do me right? Hear your daddy begging, please. Yeah. You know things just start going crazy at love when the full moon peeps through the tree. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, somebody ought to help me. That's what I'm talking about. Now everything start going crazy when the full moon comes out.
Beautiful, man. Marcel Smith.
Marcel.
Yeah, just chimed in.
Oh, that's a great singer.
He says, as a singer, I like the call and response with a guitarist. I've had the opportunity to work with Kid live. His ability to get in the groove with you is awesome. Makes performing much easier and fun. Thank
You
you,
know, I
Marcel.
already loved him. Bring Marcel here, man. Me and him would
Maybe you both
that
come in together.
that is
and
a bad
do that
band.
project together. What do you think?
Yes.
Marcel, you up for that? Chime in.
I'm going to speak on his behalf and say yes.
Let's see. Okay, couple questions. And I love how you do the Albert Collins licks kind of lesson as well. I think you cover a little bit of him in the 30 licks, but
I do. Yeah.
Richard Waters says, I like his Albert Collins licks. Can he talk about that? Just talk about that a little bit and give us an example.
Yeah. Well, there's as we'll get to, we have another movie we've been shooting called in the 30 Licks series. So Albert Collins is he's just he was one of those guys. Number one, you could tell it was him immediately when you hear him play. He had just one of those kinds of sounds, and he's somebody who's I've just listened to him so much that I've kind of internalized a lot of the stuff he does, and it's just a good it's a good default setting to have like the Albert Collins gear, because it would kind of fit everywhere, and he's very he's very to the point sounding, and with a lot of here I am kind of feel, of course, like most of his solos start with like that, and you just this is Albert Collins, and I mean, I don't think there's a better way to start anything, that's than just that note. You can start any song like that. So no, he's one. I cover a lot of blues greats that that I've grew up with. I first got my first Albert Collins record when I was 12, when I started taking guitar lessons, and it's just one of them things that it's been ingrained in me.
Right, it's a rite of passage, right? If you're gonna play the blues, you got to go there, right?
Exactly. Well, these videos we've been making, In the Jam is a great thing, and we cover a lot of conceptual stuff, but it's also, it's a very fun package because I suppose you just
Right.
you can just get it to jam along. You
That's
know?
right.
You can take me out altogether.
Right.
Just have some cool tracks to play with. The other one we've been doing is it's the 30 licks one,
Yeah.
and the last one I did, the Blues Refinery. I covered a lot of stuff. It was a lot of conceptual stuff.
Yeah,
like
you
how to-
really dug deep, and you did a really solid lesson on Albert in that one as well.
Yeah,
So-
I covered
So it's
some
like
of those guys' styles, but also most of it was was conceptual, how to break out of
Yeah.
the box, how to develop different concepts for what you want to play. And the 30 licks one, I get more specific. We get about because it's concepts are great and they're but blues and all music was particularly blues. It's a language, and you gotta to learn a language, you gotta know some phrases.
right. You have to have a vocabulary
You have to have
to
a
be able
vocabulary.
to talk. Right.
You know.
Let's do this, man, because I'm anxious to show everybody what we did with 30 licks. Can we do the Feel So Rad, finish up in the jam?
Yes. Yeah.
And sure, if you want to change that to Feel So Brad, that's totally cool with me. You have unlimited license to do so, no fee, okay? Let's do a little bit of rhythm first, and then we'll solo over the
Yeah.
rhythm track. Cool. And by the way, Marcel says, heck yeah, anything with Kid and a Cuban sandwich.
Oh,
So, Marcel, you go shout out to Kid, and we'll put something together. It should be a lot of fun. Tommy, roll that rhythm track now with Kid's comping on it, and let's hear him solo a bit. Boy, Tommy just keeps cutting us short, just as you're warming up there.
That's hey.
I could just sit here.
You
and
know,
listen
well, you
all
can't
day
give it
long.
all away for free.
No, I know, and we have a lot of ground to cover too. More shout outs for you from Norway, Vermont. Could be family there, who knows, you know.
Yes.
Family, friends. Vermont, Cincinnati, Argentina, Los Angeles, British Columbia, South Korea, Italy, Liverpool, Nashville, Vancouver, and Iceland.
You should do that to the tune of that Beach Boys song.
That's right. So now we're going to talk about 30 licks you must know, 30 refined blues you must know, the blues licks you must know. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, you know, your first course, Blues Refinery, was really a master class, you know, covering, you know, kind of a wide spectrum of really important concepts, right?
Yeah.
And then in the jam is, you know, it's fun, but also educational, a great place for you to put a lot of that to work. But you're going to need a vocabulary of refined blues licks, and that's what you've done here. So most everyone is familiar with our 30 licks formats. You put together a collection, you play it over backing track, you break it down, and boom, 30 licks later, we've got an incredible vocabulary of stuff to incorporate into our solos. So I really liked which was the one, Tommy, where he shows 4 different ways to start off a slow blues.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Can you do that again? Can you remember all 4 ways?
You know what? I'm quite certain I can.
All right.
Well, let me think for a second.
You know what?
Yeah.
If you can only
Well, you know the
remember
thing
3.
about this, you know, this course and the, you know, the licks I'm showing, you know, they range in, you know, like I guess technical difficulty from, you know, from some of them are very simple, and some of them are much more intricate.
Yeah.
But they're all like really important ones, you know, that you need. You know, just to be, you know, functional in a blues context for sure, and you know, and the I mean, to me, there's, you know, stuff I've played for all of my adult life, you know, but somebody who's you know, who's only, you know, has you know, kind of dabbled in blues and has mostly, you know, played other probably blues related styles of music, they might not, you know, not be familiar with some of the, you know, cornerstones, the foundational, the building blocks of guitar blues soloing vocabulary.
Right.
You know, so these are things that, you know, are they're easy to learn, and I'll show you how they can be like super effective in a blues setting. You know, because you know, playing blues, it's not you know, necessarily about pulling off something that's technically, you know, complicated. But it's all about, you know, strategizing and how you put the stuff forth, and there's certain things that are just going to work every time.
Cool.
And that's, you know, some of the licks I'm showing here. So yeah, we're going to do like
try
like
it.
4 of them from the.
How are we going to do this, Tom? Are you going to roll the same track 4 times?
Sure, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
You
do
roll
that.
it 4 times, and it's the one that fades into the one, right?
Yep.
Okay. He knows, but he's very good.
He
Tommy
is
back
very
there.
good.
He's not. You can't
Tommy-
even see him on this show, but he's
Tommy,
good.
Jimmy, and he's the man. He's the Wizard of Oz here,
Well,
behind the
he's
curtain.
good because he's you know, you know, the reason I became an engineer myself is partly because I was very frustrating to work with engineers who weren't musicians. And Tommy is like, man, he obviously is a musician, and he gets music. So, you know, when I tell him, you know, roll me in on the 5 chord, I don't have to explain to him what that is.
Exactly.
You know?
No, he's the best. He is the very best. You know, we're going to put a camera. We're planning for these live
He's not a
broadcasts.
bad-looking dude either,
Put
so
a
why
camera
not?
in there, you know, and lift the curtain, let's say, on the Wizard of the TrueFire's Oz here. But for the time being, he shall remain faceless, but roll this track for us, Tommy.
He's blushing. path. Woo! That's number 2.
Just show us a little bit. Show us those 2, and then we'll do the rest of them.
Show them to you.
Teach them.
Teach them. Okay. Well, everybody should know. The first one I did is a classic B.B. King opening. You know, nothing that's hard technically to execute. But it's just damn good. You know, I can't tell you how many, how effective it is. Let's say you were just playing a song like. You're playing some song and oh, thank you, applause. And the band comes in and boom, people go, woo! Every time. Because that's blues power. That's why you gotta know that one. And
That's what you were saying before. It announces you're here.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. And it's something, blues is just very, there's so many times I've seen, some bands, they would play, play a varied show. And but man, if you kick off a slow blues like that, you're just going to get an immediate response,
So-
if you do it
With authority.
yeah,
Right?
with your core,
So teach us the second one.
And the second one is, it works in the same way. They're all kind of derivative of the same lick. They all come from, B.B. King's vocabulary. Although the second one's when I hear Freddie King do a lot too. And it's even simpler. That's how it starts. And it's all in the attack and the vibrato and just your intent behind it. And then the timing, you put it like a little behind the beat, but with a lot of force. And I also, show some variations of all of them and also encourage people to come up with your own variations. One variation of this is like that, or you could do so that's that one. I got a faulty E string today. That's I've been showing Albert King licks and bending like 2 whole steps at a time. So
that'll do it too.
I broke I broke a couple of E strings, and this one I put on in such a hurry that I didn't do a good job. But that's
Let's do
all right.
3 and 4.
3 and 4. Okay, let me give me a second. Let's see. Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves.
Absolutely. I definitely will jump here and thank everybody for those thumbs up. If you get us just a few more of those, all you have to do is move that cursor over, click that thumbs up right there. I will absolutely twist his arm and make Kid play one of my favorite tracks from the new In the Jam. One of my favorite tracks, which is also kind of a tribute to the trivia question answer, which is what is the name of Kid's studio? He's not just an engineer, he's a producer, does some amazing work, makes some incredible music there. What is the name of his studio is the trivia question. Do not answer it here in the thread. Find the link, answer it there. We'll pick a winner. Did I fill enough for you to tune your instrument?
Oh yeah, I've been I've been done a long time. That's
right.
good. Good job there.
All right, roll the track. Teach us the third way and the fourth way to start a slow blues.
All right. Now see, you know what? I might need to consult my notes to see what number 4 was. I'll play number 3, but yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Fine.
Got it?
Perfect. I got it. All right. Number 3. got that. That's all right.
A little longer played with the track.
Yeah, it was.
Just,
yeah.
Tommy, play it again.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
hear
Play
it
that fourth
in
one
its
again. Let it go for.
entirety.
They
Let's
go
not
4
interrupt
bars.
This bit of genius. Doesn't that make you just want to keep going too? You know?
Yeah.
It's hard to
I
stop,
like blues
isn't
play.
it? I know. All right, so that's on the 30 refined blues licks you must know. There's another one I really dig, anime. You want to do anime for us?
Oh yes. Yes. Let's play. Oh yes. There's a. I got here's a lick I'm going to show over this groove. This is a faster shuffle groove in key of C, and I got a little T-bone Walker lick. This is another one. It's blues, like, full-time blues scholars will probably recognize this one, and somebody who's not that well versed in blues might not know it. So it's a very cool lick, and I can loop it over the whole 12 bar, as you will see. And I call this one Broken Bone. It's because it's arpeggiated, it's broken up, and it's a T-bone Walker lick.
Cool.
See, I'm a master with the puns. Now I really want to play it.
I know you do. Don't worry, we'll unleash you in just a moment. I'm waiting, twist your arm to get you to play another full-length thing. Soon as we get a few more thumbs up. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Just a couple more clicks.
what did I
We'll
do
run
wrong?
over for you. We'll run over. We'll play. Kid wants to play, okay? It's hard to get the guy to stop, actually.
Kid and play.
Another, turnarounds are really important, right? Don't you do one with Royal Blues Power? Is that a
Yes,
turnaround?
yes.
Talk about
key.
first, before you demonstrate it, how important. Someone once said, you could really tell the kind of a distinction between, the great blues players and everybody else's, their vocabulary of turnarounds, that they don't always use the same old 2 or 3 turnarounds. What's your feeling about that?
Well, it's definitely the kind of the point in the blues progression where you have to deviate from what you're playing for the rest of this. A lot of times you can play the same thing over the 1 chord and a 4 chord and it'll work. And even actually, if you just look at blues lyrics, it's evident in there. The first line is, whatever it is, woke up this morning and etc. And then
Woke up this morning, had the blues.
my baby was gone.
My baby
I
was gone,
woke up this morning, my baby was gone. Second line will usually be a repeat of the first line. But the turnaround, that's when you got to come up with something, something else. You got to come up with something else, and hopefully, it'll rhyme. In the lyrics, that's not a concern on the instrumental section, but that's that's the point in the progression where things change to where you gotta have a little bit of an idea of what you're doing, and that's
kind of like
so have a vocabulary of a bunch of different ways you can go at that juncture is a must.
So play and then teach us this Royal Blue Power.
Oh yeah, I call it that because this is
A blues, right?
yes, A blues from the top. This is totally one of classic Albert King turnaround again, and this is you gotta have this in your vocabulary, whether you play it or not. But if you know it, you're gonna want to play it.
Sweet. So, how many turnarounds do you have in this 30 licks? You have a couple of them?
I have not counted them. I got more than a couple.
Yeah.
We got 30 licks. A lot of them are on how to start a blues solo off. And so I got separate kind of sections for the one chord, and there's some that are specific to the 4 chord, and number, which are different types of turnarounds. And I also am going to have a little section at the end with a bunch of licks that are kind of exclusive to the key of E, because with the open strings and whatnot, there's quite a few of those that I want to get in there, and yeah, that's
So, a couple more questions from some of the folks. Talk a little bit about your vibrato. He says it's impossibly unique and fabulous. How did you find it, or how did you develop it? Your vibrato.
I knew a guy. He kept saying, I still know him. He kept saying he lost his vibrato, and I kept asking, "Man, did you look in the back of your amp?" So there's vibrato is a finite resource. If I found I took somebody else's, I guess.
That's right, exactly. So you do have a very distinctive vibrato.
Yeah, I got several kinds that I deploy. It's not like I sat down one day and I said, "This is going to be my vibrato." It was more of there were certain guys I would hear, certain things I would hear on record that just maybe that triggered my ear, that really made me perk up. A couple of the guys that did that. One was Otis Rush. He had a song called a track. He did a version of "Feel So Bad," which has just absolutely nothing to do with the song "Feel So Bad." But and there was a break in there, which I actually played it earlier, and I heard him go. I'll do it again. And I heard that note, and I go, "Holy crap!" That's like, man, just years and years and years. I just inched my way closer and closer to be able to get that, where it just sounds so like liquid, and it almost sounds like in the cartoons when the Bugs Bunny one of them characters get hit in the head with a frying pan.
That's
They
right.
go,
Right, exactly.
So, I don't want to do that on everything, but that's one way I heard that's a vibrato that really grabs your ear. And I heard other guys, like obviously B.B. King, he would do it in a different way. I'd hear him just go, it's a different motion altogether. So I was just attracted to sounds of I was going to say I was attracted to guys with good vibrato, but that doesn't sound quite right.
We get it. Don't worry.
So I would hear guys like Otis Rush, B.B. King, Lonnie Johnson on the acoustic guitar, Robert Nighthawk on the slide guitar, and Peter Green. And also and I would hear other guys who use different kind of vibrato in a totally different way, like Albert Collins. That note he does, that note he starts everything with, he goes, it's much slower,
right.
And it's so slow that you can actually hear it going like A. Now it's now it's B flat. So you're actually hearing, which is pretty odd, but it's just so cool because he just plays it in a way that goes. And he's like, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So when he goes, oh, man, you're bending that note sharp. And he goes, damn right
Exactly. That's the point. Cool. So how about telling us, we like to do a little bit of a gear talk towards the end. Before you tell us about the guitar and typically the type of gear that you might gig with or record with, just another shout out about Kid's promo code for today and I believe tomorrow. Kid Live, 25% off his first course, Blues Refinery, and even 25% off a pre-order for 30 licks. Somebody was asking whether it was there or not. It is there. You can pick up these 30 licks now and save a ton. Usually, we're able to get the course to market within 60 days, so you have it in time for Christmas, kind of a thing for sure. So take advantage of that. I'm going to ask the trivia question one more time, and you can enter that by clicking the link in the thread as well. What is the name of Kid's studio? And get us just a couple more thumbs ups. Come on, move that little clicker over there. And I will get Kid to play you one of my favorite.
Will thumbs
Play
down get
over.
us anything?
Huh?
Will thumbs down get us anything?
No. Thumbs down. Okay. It works in the opposite direction.
Okay, then
it's
don't do
gotta
that.
Be thumbs up, and then we'll get them to play one of my favorite tracks off of the new course. So tell us about the guitar, man.
Oh man, well this is the same one I had last time. There's a Grez, is it called a Mendocino, and it's made by my friend Gary. I can't even say his last name, but it's something like Grez, and he's in Northern California, and he hand makes these, and it's just really one of the, I always liked old guitars. I like vintage guitars, and this is, obviously a brand new guitar. It just feels so alive, and.
So can they find it? Is it Grez Guitars?
Yes.
G-R-E-Z,
G-R-E-Z.
Right? Grez Guitars. Look for it.
Yeah, Grez Guitars. And this is one that he made, and he's actually making me another one, too, because I requested he make me one that was more gaudy looking.
More gaudy looking?
Well, I like flash. I like shiny objects and stuff.
Nothing wrong with that, man. But I've never heard that description.
But this
before.
one's very, this one's really classy looking.
And the pickups in that are
they're Lawlers. They're whatchamacallit, they're the gold foil pickups. They're like the they come in like cheap Teisco guitars and stuff, and they just sound really cool and crunchy and sparkly and what initially attracted me to this guitar was that I met Barry, and Nick Moss had one of these, and the thing that attracted me to it was that it doesn't sound like any other guitar I had. I got a lot of guitars, and this one was like, that's a totally unique sound. And since I run a studio, which I will not name,
not yet. Anyway.
I'm always looking for stuff that can give me a unique sound. So I was like, man, let me check out one of those. And then after I got it, I just every time I played it, it just made me want to keep playing. It was very inspiring to play. So I started using it, for our gigs and taking it around.
Well, it's awesome looking, and I can tell you firsthand here, it just sounds great. Especially as you kind of get different types of tones and feels. It's really versatile in the range of tone you can get from it.
It is.
What,
but having said that, I actually brought another guitar too that I wouldn't mind playing on the last tune.
Absolutely. Hey, Tommy, can you send Sam in to grab that guitar?
Oh, it's right there.
I'll get it for you. Hang on. What gauge strings?
11s.
This one right here.
No, it's in the bag right there. Maybe not.
Oh, wait. Over here, maybe.
Oh, there you see it.
No, it's not there either.
Where'd my guitar go? Well, never mind.
Photo studio, maybe?
That's where I used it last.
Yeah, ask Sam to go grab it.
I thought I brought it in here.
We'll get it.
We got it right here.
We'll get it. What gauge strings do you use? They want to know.
These are 11s I use on this one. On the Grez, they feel like lighter than that. But yeah, they're 11 gauge strings. Thank you. It's just the right gauge for me. Thank you, Sam.
And a kid typically.
And it's not, it's not because it's not because I think that you have to have thick strings to get a big sound. A lot of my favorite players, use skinny strings. It's just that I have a lot of I play hard, and I just if I get anything lighter than 11s, it's hard for me to contain my strength.
Enthusiasm.
Yeah, I mean the guitar just gets away from me, and I start plinking out. So I need some resistance.
So this is a beauty right here. Tell us about this one.
Yes, this is. I just got this recently. Without telling the whole story, I'll say my bandleader Rick Estrin's sister has a friend who has a brother who recently passed, and he used to play this guitar way back in the day, and they were asking me if I would help them sell it, and they brought it over, and I say no, because I will just buy it.
It's gorgeous.
It's a 1959 Gibson ES5 Switchmaster.
Yeah.
And it has a Bigsby on it that came stock from the factory.
Yeah.
The only thing I changed about it is that I put throwback pickups in there. Throwback pickups is a great new company out of Michigan, and they make the best replicas of Gibson PAF pickups.
Really?
Oh, they're outstanding.
I love that switch on the front there.
Yeah, no. My tech told me don't break that because I can't get another one.
And that's just switching pickups, right?
Yes.
Is it 5 position or 3?
It's 4.
Okay.
It has it selects either that one, or that one, or all 3.
Okay.
At the end, and I also got an in and out of phase switch on it.
Nice.
And the throwback pickups actually made it sound even better. And the best part about it is that I took the because this I'm not a collector, I'm a player, so I don't want a piece that I'm going to be worried about. I want something that I can take with me on the plane and go to Florida and come here. So
but meanwittle,
it
that one
it's
would be
it's
pretty
gotta
hard to replace. That one, yeah.
Well, it is. I mean, it's got to repair her. So the collector value is pretty much, it's pretty much halved at least by that. So then that puts it more in my, something. But the quality is the same,
Yeah.
But anyways, I sold the original pickups I got almost enough money to pay for the whole guitar by selling the original pickups,
No
and
kidding.
I put the throwback pickups in there, and it sounds better to me now. So I want to give a shout out to John Gundry and Throwback too, because they make a fine product.
So we've picked a winner. The winner is Zipporama, and he won a $100 gift card. I hope you pick up at least one, if not all, of kids' courses with that. And tell them what the name of your studio is.
The name of my studio is Greaseland.
Greaseland, which ties very nicely to, we got a lot of thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for doing that. And that means, kid, you actually do have to play that guitar now and play Land of Grease.
Yes.
Say goodbye to all your fans from all over the world. And I much thanks on behalf of everyone here at TrueFire for tuning in. We will see you next time. Kid, play us out, man.
Thank
Land
you.
of Grease.
Thank you all for tuning in. And remember, thumbs up.